So it's been a few weeks, of course, and right now I think the most important thing to do is perform a little magic trick where I step right back into your subscription feed. Recently released was Tales of Arise, a Bandai Namco game, which follows the journey of two people who are quite similar yet very much unalike. This game follows the usual anime-styled art and storytelling that other Bandai Namco games have had. More recently, that has been Scarlet Nexus and Code Vein. They haven't released too many anime-styled games in the last couple of years, but it's safe to say it's their normal niche storytelling and anime art style. I believe the story is really creative. There are a couple of cliches and a couple of repetitive ideas in there, but I think for the most part, it's really a brand new story. Now, one thing to note about the Tales of Arise story, it's not at all related, at least chronologically, to any of the other Tales names. Bandai Namco came out and said this a few months before release, I believe, and if you follow the series quite heavily, it may be easy to see that it's at least not of the same time period, much less the same realm. I really like this story and a lot of the animations. I really hope that someday this actually becomes animated, like Tales of Zestiria and Tales of Berseria, if that's how you pronounce them. I've never spoken those two words out loud. The gameplay was quite nice for this game. It was the first time I played this style of RPG, and what I mean by this style is that there is a party system. You can switch between the characters, command the characters, and all that. It was the first time for me playing this, and I felt like the process was very smooth and the process was easy to follow. Each of the characters have a different style of playing. There's support, attack, and defense, and each of the characters fall under those umbrella terms. You can have 4 of the characters in your party at one time, but I believe they are switchable at any point once you have more than 4. I was a little confused at first because I've of course never played this style of game. I'm used to more of the Dark Souls style where you would have to find your items rather than craft the basic ones. This game is more centered around crafting, at least from what I've found. I found a lot more armors than I did weapons. Other things in gameplay, there are map actions, is what they're called when you look at them. Sometimes there's a wall of fire or there is a wall of ice that you can absorb or break down. And behind them there may be a chest, or there may be a secret room or secret items or something like that, which use up what are called cure points. Without going into too much detail, the cure point system is basically your active ability, which resets after every rest. You can use items to regen your cure points, and that's pretty helpful when you figure out that there's a map action ahead of you which will take up more than what you have. Graphically, I have to say this game is pretty nice. A lot of the textures are somewhat blended and kind of blurred, at least for characters, but landscape and map design is pretty solid, especially in fight scenes where there are less to load. I think the enemies and the characters look really nice, along with all the animation and all the effects. It really flows together. I would hope to see some good things come from DLC and Tales of Arise, maybe a new story or something like that. For the last 48 hours, I really did enjoy playing this game, and it's been a blast, really. I don't know when my next video will be. I don't know if I'll be able to stick to the Wednesday watermelon rating every week, because really, I'm running out of games that I find interesting. Bummer, right? You know? I'll have to upload every new game that comes out. It seems like such a drag. Before this rating ends, though, I definitely have to do the rating part. Tales of Arise would score 9 watermelons out of 10 in my book. Everything about this game is pretty solid and well put together. Going from story to gameplay-wise, graphic-wise, it's a lot to ingest, but I think it flows really well and the game benefits because of that. But with that said, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.
Don't go outside, locked up in my room. Life switched up, don't know where to go. After all this time, you're still in my phone. Traded so much time and got so far. Like things ain't changed, stuck at the start. Gave it my all, but had to let go. Trying to save me from from myself.